Welcome to Folktales by Firelight, where the old stories find new breath and hearts are warmed by wisdom passed down like embers. Tonight, we share a tale from the hills of West Africa of a poor girl, a forgotten village, and a calabash that could speak. But like all magic, it worked only for the kind-hearted. This is the story of the Magic Calabash. Long ago, in a village where the earth was dry and the skies forgot how to cry, lived a young girl named Zari. She had no brothers, no sisters, just her mother, who grew thinner with each season. Zari was no stranger to hardship. She rose before the sun to fetch water from the cracked well, collected firewood, while others played, and sang to her mother when hunger made her tremble. The villagers were too burdened to care. They turned away when Zari passed, but she smiled anyway, at goats, at birds, even at the sky. One day, as she wandered farther than usual for firewood, she stumbled upon a grove she had never seen. At its center sat a strange glowing calabash. Perfect, smooth, golden. She bent to pick it up, and it spoke.
Yes,
It whispered.
I have chosen you.
Zari dropped it in shock.
You're a calabash. You can talk?
I am more than what I seem.
It replied.
I am a vessel of kindness. I grant abundance to those who share.
Zari blinked.
I have nothing to share.
The calabash shimmered.
But you gave your voice to soothe, your hands to help, and your heart to love.
Then it sang to her, a lullaby her mother used to hum before sickness stole her voice. Zari's eyes welled with tears.
Take me home.
The calabash said.
Use me wisely.
Zari placed it gently in her basket. That night, when her mother coughed in her sleep, Zari knelt beside the calabash.
Please, if you truly are magic,
Bring us a little food.
The calabash vibrated, then opened. Out came warm millet, enough for both their bellies. Zari gasped. Her mother whispered a prayer. The next day, she asked again, this time for water, and the calabash filled a bowl with cool, clear spring water. Over the weeks, Zari never grew greedy. She asked only for what they needed. She began to share, a bowl to the lonely widow, a cup to the blind man, a loaf to the chief's sick son. The village noticed. Where is this poor girl getting such food? They murmured. One day, the chief's daughter, jealous and proud, followed Zari. She saw the calabash shimmer and whispered, witchcraft. The next morning, Zari was summoned. The chief glared.
You, what sorcery do you bring into my village?
Zari bowed.
it is no sorcery.
The calabash gives only to the kind.
Then let it give to me.
The chief shouted, grabbing it.
Calabash, give me gold.
The calabash shook violently. Smoke rose from its seams. Then, crack! It split open and spilled ashes. The chief dropped it, howling. The people gasped.
You cannot force kindness.
Zari whispered.
It must be offered freely.
That night, the skies opened. Rain fell like music. The villagers came to Zari's hut, not with demands, but with gifts. A new thatched roof, a bundle of cloth, a carved stool for her mother, and stories began to spread, not of magic, but of a girl with a heart that fed the village. Years passed. Zari grew into a wise woman. She planted a new calabash vine near the grove, but never looked for magic again. She had learned the real power was never in the vessel, but in the hands that gave and the heart that asked kindly. In the days that followed, something curious began to happen. Though the calabash was broken, the village itself had changed. People who once ignored each other now shared smiles. Children who once fought now played under the same mango tree. And the chief, shamed and humbled, began walking through the village, not to command, but to listen. Zari, still modest in her ways, planted seeds outside her mother's hut. Okra, cassava, sorghum, all began to grow, watered by the same rain that returned after years of absence. One day, the blind man whom Zari had fed came to her with a carved gift, a small wooden pendant shaped like a calabash. He held it out and said, "You gave me food when I was forgotten. Now, I give you a blessing made of memory and wood." Zari pressed it to her chest and smiled. There were no more whispers of witchcraft, only stories of the girl who had turned a village of scarcity into one of abundance. Children began to sit near her each evening, asking for the tale of the talking calabash, and each time she told it a little differently. Not because the truth changed, but because every child needed a different kind of magic. Even the chief's daughter, once proud and cruel, came quietly one day. "I was wrong," she whispered. "Would you show me how to plant cassava?" Zari handed her a stalk with a nod.
Magic grows best in shared soil.
As seasons changed, and as Zari grew into a woman with silver at her temples, she watched her village bloom. No one had much, but no one went without. That was the true miracle. And the calabash vine she planted, it bore fruit. One day, as her granddaughter played by the grove, she came running to Zari's feet. "Nana," one of them hummed. Zari laughed gently.
Then speak kindly, child, and only ask what you truly need.
She didn't know if the calabash would ever speak again. But she knew this: the world listens to those who ask with open hearts. You've been listening to Folktales by Firelight, where kindness echoes louder than power, and even broken vessels can carry the greatest gifts. Until our next story, stay warm. If you enjoyed this story and would like to hear more, then please subscribe, like, comment, and share the fire. New tales await right here at Folktales by Firelight.